Hello, this is Mad Cat, and welcome to an impromptu episode that we are very, very late for, and we just decided to try to wing it as fast as we can. What an introduction. I am Mad Cat, and I am joined by the lovely Modern Medusa.
Greetings.
She's in the dark, so we have to whisper.
I'm in the dark. I'm sorry. It's kind of dark in here.
So me and Modern Medusa are planning to come back to doing regular shows, but this month has just been horrible. As you can see, I just got back from my vacation, which I was at the Arch.
Nice.
It makes you wonder why people built it, but it's awesome to see. So, how have you been, Modern Medusa?
I've been okay. I mean, I've been kind of frustrated because of drama with, first of all, my car transmission dying and having to borrow money from people, and then fucking drama at work as well, which sucks, but I'm hoping it'll just blow over. So I'm just trying to stay positive. But
I'm sorry, but your transmission is not broken. That's just transphobic.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them that they're transphobic and therefore I don't have to pay.
And of course, your account got suspended, which is bullshit, but I can honestly say I know how you feel.
Are you talking about YouTube or Patreon?
YouTube. Wait, Patreon suspended you?
It got suspended for like a week. Because I guess someone reported it or something, and because they haven't noticed anything for months and months and months. So I don't know how else they would have, seen anything. But they were like, oh, you need to remove any fully exposed buttocks from your Patreon. And first of all, the ones that they specifically pointed out, one of them I was in a thong. The other, it was like half of a butt crack. And I was like, okay, I fixed it. Can I get my shit back now? But yeah, I'm not making any money off of YouTube. Not that I really did anyways before, but now I'm not able to do live streams either. So yay. But I've been live streaming on Twitch if anybody's interested in that. Twitch.tv/ModernMedusa.
Because what's his name got suspended because he advertised his Twitch account. So we can't talk about Twitch anymore. I forget who it is, but it was someone pretty big. I think it was like Linux help. He's like a computer guy who does like computer videos, but he mentioned his Twitch account and his account got suspended.
What the fuck? Well, I already mentioned it. I don't care. I mean, on my channel.
Suspended people. This is like the end of my channel. Thank you, Modern Medusa.
Sorry. I was just joking, okay? That was satire.
So speaking of reporting on obscure news, someone decided to report on us. And I can tell you, I'm very happy about this. As funny as it is, I'm very happy about it. So let me go ahead and load up the article. Now, Modern Medusa has already done an article on this. I've done a video on this. Let me... There we go.
It's just so funny. Like, I don't care that it's like old, like from a
year ago. Uh-oh.
Opinions have changed at all.
Well, I think it's important because we need to see more of this, even if it's people just making fun of us. But I didn't even know it was from a year ago. But, one of the things we were concerned about was any media attention. And we knew we would get Barcroft. but we didn't know what kind of reaction we'd get from that. And well, I agree with you that this is important because it's kind of like the generalization that people have about what it is that we're trying to do. Those people, even within the men's rights movement, that criticized us, saying that we're trying to exploit men's issues to make money. And let me tell you, people, I mean, we've raised $3,000, but that has gone to a lot of like expense. We are not really making any money at this at all. And the only thing that we can really confirm is with the money we have is that we got everything we wanted with the 2018 calendar, and that we're going to be able to produce a 2020 calendar. I mean, it'll be very, very limited. We're going to try to raise more money to do more with it, but we can at least get 100 calendars out in 2020. But and a point that Modern Medusa make is like we haven't even really sold all of our calendars. We kind of overestimated how many calendars we needed, and there was no real way to know what we were going to need. It was anyone's guess, and we took a stab at it, and we've sold quite a few, but not as many as we hoped for.
Not that we're like complaining, we've had fun the entire time, and it's been a learning experience, so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but this is just facts.
This is just the nature of trying to do something like this. You make decisions and you learn from them, and you hope you do better next time. But yeah, like Modern Medusa says, we've had a lot of fun doing this. So let's go ahead and get to this article because we want to keep this video short. Hello and welcome to your weekly jaunt through the dark and seedy and ultimately very depressing underbelly of the manosphere. Well, right away, I've got to say that is a very good opening. I mean, really good. It really just jumps right in there. So I got to give kudos where kudos is due. This week, I thought we'd take a look at some of the women who have decided to ally themselves with the men's rights movement. Okay. I mean, you use very depressing, but I mean, you're a feminist and yet you want to attack women. So, I mean, what does that really say about you?
Yeah.
Now, women opposing feminism is nothing new. Hell, some of the loudest voices opposed women's suffrage were those belonging to the movement, or to women. Now, I know actually what this is referring to, having seen Modern Medusa's video. Actually, let me just go ahead and click on it. And we're seeing women from this time. There were many women who actually opposed the suffrage movement because they realized that if men and women had parity, had true equality, then that means the role that women had back then would change to be more like men. Men who were risking their lives for their jobs every single day, working in coal mines, working in mercury mines, working in gold mines. These were very dangerous jobs. Women didn't really want to do it. I mean, we had just gotten out of everyone having to work and that women could stay home. And truth be told, if I had to choose between working out on a farm all day or working indoors, even though I was doing a lot of cleaning, I'd choose the indoors every single time. And then, of course, the suffrage movement joined up with the temperance movement, which led to prohibition in the early 20th century, basically outlawing all alcohol. And a lot of women reported during this time that, instead of men going to their local pub after work and getting all the stress out and then coming home, men would just come home and beat their wives. So you can imagine that there were some women back then that didn't like this whole prohibition thing. Look it up in your history. It's all there. I mean, it's hard to find, but it is there that there were a lot of women that were against the suffragettes movement. Mostly because they didn't want to take on the mantle of what it meant to be a man. Fortunately for them, though, much of what the suffragettes did is get the rights without the responsibility. Anyways, I digress. Of course, there was also Phyllis Schlafly, and every girl you knew in high school is like so much more of a guy, and not any of those bad things women are, and wishes you could just be as cool and chill with rape jokes as she is. Yeah, I agree with you. This is badly worded. Someone needs an editor to go through, or maybe a different editor, because this is just awful. But I get what she's trying to say. It's like, yeah, you have some of those women out there who like to be one of the guys.
Yeah.
And seems to be chill with rape jokes. And don't like to do the things that girls like to do, like wear makeup, wear dresses, do anything feminine.
Mm-hmm. Or they could be feminine and still be part of the guy, or one of the guys. You know, it doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean, look at you, Vanessa. I mean, you are one of the guys, but you still like to dress up. You still like to put on makeup. We have videos of you getting drunk and putting on makeup.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, and she right here, what she's doing is dividing it. Yes, there are women out there that just don't like to do girly things and like to hang out with the guys. And then there are girls who like to do girly things and still hang out with guys because they think other women are insane.
Yeah.
But right here, she's just drawing the line of either you're feminine or you hate femininity and just want to be a guy. That's what she's doing right here.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's drawing the goal lines. These days, as with everything else, anti-feminism for women is becoming an identity. And actually, a rather profitable one for many women on the internet. Well, sure, shoe on head. But not all of us can be shoe on head.
Yeah.
But, you know, and this is a point that Modern Medusa made on her channel. It's like there's probably a lot more women who are making a profit off of feminism itself.
Mm-hmm.
Anita Sarkeesian, anyone?
Yeah.
Who basically cheated feminism out of their money. Instead of feminists being angry that she didn't live up to any of her promises, they doubled down and it's like, oh, she's really a victim. An easy way to make a ton of money on YouTube is to make a video about how you are a woman and not feminist. Notice that she doesn't provide any examples of this. Other than Modern Medusa, she thinks you make a lot of money at this. But she makes a link to women opposing suffragists, but she doesn't make a link to anyone who's making a lot of money on this. And even back during this time, we were going through the apocalypse, where many people were getting their channels shut down. I mean, hell, even make a reference to the honey badgers. It would be lazy, but it looks like you're at least trying. I mean, they don't make a huge amount of money, but they make enough to be able to do things with it.
Yeah.
But this entire article is just laziness. And you know, she's doing what we do on this show, only we do it better. She's taking an obscure topic that no one's really talking about, but is enough to warrant, you know, outrage. And we do that on this show. We look for obscure articles that no one's talking about so we can talk about it, but we try to put some focus into it. We try to put some context into what's being discussed. And sure, we still get outraged by it, but we at least make an attempt to try to understand what someone else is trying to say and then criticize them for it. This person's not trying to do that. They're just trying to be outraged and try to get as many clicks as they can. Well, I guess it worked because they got a click from us.
Yeah. Probably one of the only ones. There's no comments on it at all.
Because unlike those nasty feminists, you like men and said men never need to worry that you are not going to have shaved legs. So is shaving your legs anti-feminist? Is that what I'm reading here?
I guess not shaving your legs is feminist. Well, I mean, of course it's attributed to feminists, but I mean, I guess it's now a sign of female empowerment or something. I don't.
Well, she says, because unlike those nasty feminists, you like men, and said men never need to worry that you are not going to shave your legs, meaning that men can rely on you to shave your legs, unlike those nasty feminists.
Right.
So it means that shaving your legs is anti-feminist. That's what she's saying right here.
I feel like it would have been more clever if she would have said shave your pussy or something. Because, like, that's more rare. A lot of women shave their legs. That's not, like...
Yeah, I know.
and their armpits, but I don't know. It's just a bad... I don't know if it was a joke or... I don't know.
There's even a ladies-only version of the Red Pill subreddit in which Red Pill women earnestly discuss how to be perfect, submissive, non-nagging wives or girlfriends to their partners, even when that kind of weirds their partners out. Even when that kind of weirds their partner out because they did not actually grow up in the 1950s. Also badly worded. That could be worded a lot better. And Red Pill women. Let's look at some of the headings here. Oh, she links to a specific article that's archived. I guess some people have been commenting on this. Oh, wait, maybe... Oh, yeah, she just sent this as an archive. She just... Okay, so that's why it's saying from 5 days ago. Let's see if we can get a specific date. Oh, October 16, 2017. So she just took a snapshot of one of the things. Okay, I can give her credit for that one. But let's look at some of the topic headings of it itself. What I've learned and will teach my kids, sleepwear, using your looks, hiring a housekeeper. Oh yeah, my husband cheated and I'm not sure how to handle it. Oh yeah, all about submission. Ways to show love besides cooking. Oh my God, that is the most sexist thing I've ever seen. Wanting to show love other than cooking a meal. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, no one's commented. All right, so I'm not going to read this whole stupid thing because it is so... It's one, a wall of text, and two, it's just like gobbledygook. Yeah, I think I'm team that lady's husband. Of course, the Red Pill woman had a different take, suggesting that it was bad that she was even telling him to leave because that was still telling him to do stuff, which is bad.
Hang on. Look at the fucking Hillary Clinton picture. With the flipping off. Nasty woman.
So,
hey, at least it's an accurate caption.
Hillary Clinton giving a middle finger, that's okay, but Donald Trump giving a thumbs up, that's bad. Am I understanding that correct?
America. I'm pretty sure that this whole website is communist or something, or anti-capitalist at least.
Yeah. Well, most of feminism is anti-capitalist.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, a fun new addition to the Fem MRA or Phi MRA or Iron MRA, or those chemistry buffs out there, you'll get that, don't worry. Scenes are the lovely ladies of the men's issue. Now, Vanessa, you could question what this was. This is kind of a sub element of the men's rights activists, that there are women out there who are very big in the movement, and some feminists have labeled them to be Phi MRAs or Fem RA. And some have kind of taken on the mantle to be that. There's someone on Twitter that I think has that handle, Fem MRA. But it's basically just a way to divide it. Instead of being like, we're all men's activists, some of us are female men's activists. It's just a way to provide.
I'm a Fem RA, guys. That's my title now. Don't call me an MRA. I'm only a Fem RA.
3 women who are currently making a pinup calendar. Okay, who are those 3 women? I mean, there's Modern Medusa. There's Reed Wren. Who's the 3rd one?
Apparently, she thought that Becky was one of the creators.
Good way
just because do your homework. Who knows if she even actually watched the whole video? She might have just looked at the fucking thumbnail and wrote an entire thing about it.
Well, to be fair, I was not mentioned in the video. But if you actually did research into it and actually looked into it, you would then find out that I was a part of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, oh, you know, this is so horrible I wasn't mentioned. I mean, I kind of knew that being a part of this project that there would be more focus on you and Ren.
Right. I couldn't remember if we had or not. That's the problem. Like when I talk in front of the camera. Plus, they edited a lot of stuff out, obviously, because I did mention you at some point. They just didn't put it in there.
Oh, of course not. A man being involved with this, that goes against their narrative of women against feminism.
Right, but obviously she didn't even look at the website or the Indiegogo or anything.
Right. And there's a part about that video I hated that they asked you a question and it made you look like you were completely inept because you just kind of scratched your head and kind of looked off in the distance. And it's like, that is poor editing right there. They did that on purpose.
I personally thought it looked okay just because it looked like I was actually thinking about the answer rather than like just blurting something out. That's how I took it. But other people took it as like, oh, I don't know. I guess. I don't really care though. It doesn't bother me, but you know, whatever. Oh,
all right. So
silly.
3 women who are currently making a pinup calendar to raise attention to men's issue by showing them their boobs.
Hey, look at my boobs. Hey, am I causing attention? Where's my attention? Boobs. Attention, please. Gimme. I'm hungry. I need attentions.
If you're looking at your boobs, I'm hungry.
Nom boobs.
Not that I have any issues with boobs showing, mind you. Do what you want, really, because you raise a stink about it. 3 women who are raising attention by showing their boobs and then saying, well, not that I have a problem with it. You can do whatever you want.
She's just saying that so that the feminists don't, you know, come after her and say, what, you're not for free the nipple? What's your problem? They gotta always back themselves up.
Frankly, I'm just wondering who even buys calendars these days. Well, we can tell you, barely anyone. I mean, we appreciate everyone who bought a calendar, but there are the people that mostly recognize what it is that we were trying to do. We were trying to get attention out there. We were trying to raise awareness.
Most of the people that donated
medium.
Most of the people that donated were donating because they love the cause, not because they wanted a calendar, but they still got a calendar because that's what we wanted to reward them with. And we've already said, you know, if somebody has a suggestion for what they would like to get a reward as, and they can tell us. You know, obviously we're, you know, very fan oriented people. You know, we always take in feedback and advice and everything, and we've always, you know, accepted new ideas. So fuck you.
Their Indiegogo campaign, there's no dashes in go-go, by the way. It's just one word. I think an editor could have told you that. Go look at the site. You don't see any dashes in their logo, you dumbass. Their Indiegogo campaign for the video explains that while they don't hate women, even though Modern Medusa, one of the producer models of the calendar, says feminism is cancer, like she's Milo or something, hey, Modern Medusa wishes she was Milo.
Well, the funny part is that I was literally quoting Milo.
Yeah.
And it was in the description of the video. I didn't even say it in the video. That's what's so cringy.
They just think that men are the real victims and want to stand up for them with boobs. But again, she's not against showing of boobs. Okay, first off, let's dispel that. We don't think that men are the real victims of anything. We do acknowledge that women basically have all of the rights that they ever wanted, but they still believe they don't. We believe that there are some major issues that concern men that need to be addressed. But we're not trying for victim culture like the feminist movement has. We're just raising up issues. We're talking about them. We want to see solutions to this, and we're actually willing to work with feminists, but first they have to get the huge fucking dildo out of their ass.
Right, exactly.
So I guess this was a quote from us. The first thing you need to understand is that we do not hate women. I think this was the write-up on Indiegogo. We believe in equality for both genders and endorse the idea that helping men doesn't take away support from women. Oh my God, that's horrible. We haven't mentioned boobs once. This isn't about hate. This is about love of all people. Except when it comes down to it, the greatest victims are those who are unable to have a voice, who are blamed for all the ills of the world. Okay, but, you know, in saying this statement, I'm not victimizing men. I'm just saying that, you know, those who can't speak for themselves, you know, they are the true victims. And this could include women as well. And some women are blamed for the ills of the world. But yes, I am specifically speaking about men. But she's trying to conflate it that I'm saying that only men are the real victims.
Right.
And maybe I could have worded that better, but, you know, I still stand by what I say. Men are expected to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, even if that means no one will be there for them when they are in need of help, as evident by a recent bill by Congress that basically stripped veterans of money, of a lot of money to help them. And veterans are predominantly male, as you would know if you had our calendar.
Right.
Men suffer at a greater rate than women in the Western world, but you never hear about it. Men don't have a voice? I feel like they have a voice. Okay, what's your evidence that men have a voice? I mean, even by this, you've basically ignored me and said that it was 3 women putting it together and didn't even acknowledge that I was a part of this.
Right.
And yet you say that men have a voice? You've just proven that men don't have a voice. Just because I'm not in front of the camera on some beach somewhere talking about all of this doesn't mean that I'm not a part of it. Yeah. And you've stripped me of that in your one article. not that I really care. I'm laughing about this, but I'm just seeing the hypocrisy in what she's saying. If you're able to deal with listening to incredibly stilted speech patterns, they've got a video.
Thanks.
Well, you know what? We're a low production. We're trying to make the most of what we have, which we pretty much started out with nothing. So if you're referring to the little trailer we had, the little promo video, we were dealing with a woman in North Carolina and Minnesota trying to interact with each other, and they weren't interacting with each other at all. They're not professional actors. And then, yeah, Vanessa has a difficult time speaking in front of a camera, except when doing this. I mean, anyone does. People get nervous when they're in front of the cameras and speaking to a live person that they don't really know. And that's the best you can criticize us for is stilted speech patterns? Fuck you!
Oh, I'd like to see you get in front of a camera instead of hiding behind a computer bench.
The thing is, many issues... What's up?
As I come on our show, if you're not scared.
The thing is, many of the issues they bring up are perfectly fine issues to bring up. Perfectly fine? How about perfectly reasonable? What do we need the permission of feminism to get things up that it's perfectly fine, it's feminist approved?
Yeah, only feminist approved men's issues.
They have issue with circumcision. Lots of people have reasonable and fair issues with circumcision. Really? That's the one caveat you're giving us? We have issue with it, and a lot of people have fair issue with it. Again, you should be using the word reasonable. I mean, you do use it. You have reasonable here, and then you add the caveat and fair. How about just say lots of people have reasonable issues with circumcision? That sounds like you're giving us, olive branch here. It's like, hey, you got a legitimate issue here that's worth discussing. In the event that I had a child with penis, I don't think I'd do that. Well, kudos to you. It's the one positive thing I can say about you, except your opening line, which I still really love. I mean, I know I'm supposed to hate you and everything, but I really love that opening line. Hey, I'm an author. I recognize good writing. I also recognize really abysmal writing. They note that men have higher suicide rates than men, though women are more likely to attempt suicide. Citation, please.
Well, yeah, they're more likely to attempt suicide, meaning that they use less lethal ways like pills or slitting their wrists or something like that, where they're more likely to be, saved.
Or possibly survive the incident. I mean, if you take too many pills, it's possible that your system will just puke it up.
Yeah.
But, I hear about this a lot, and I've not ever seen anything substantial to support that women are more likely to commit suicide.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen anything actually citing it, but I've just heard it.
But, what she's also doing right here is saying, well, yeah, men commit suicide at higher rates, but we should focus on women who do it more often. And it's like, you're doing the very thing of why we created this calendar in the first place, is that anytime we bring up an issue about men, someone has to bring up an issue about women and try to say, oh, it's so much worse. And that's why we shouldn't really focus on men. I don't care
focus on both.
It's worse for women or not. We shouldn't ignore men in the process. We say, hey, people are committing suicide at a high rate. Men are doing it at 5 times the rate that women are. And yes, we acknowledge that women are also committing suicide. Maybe what we need to do is reform the mental health system to accommodate people on their actual needs. Because apparently whatever we have now is not working. That's how we get together for the conversation. But we say, hey, we have a serious problem, men committing suicide at higher rates, and then some feminist comes up like, yeah, but women commit suicide more often, or they attempt it more often, so we should focus on that instead. That's all you're doing right here.
Yeah.
Men are 4 times more likely to get cancer than women, but the majority of the funding goes to women who have cancer. No, that's actually incorrect right there. It's not the majority of funding goes to women who have cancer. Majority of the funding go to women who could potentially get cancer and have cancer. You know, there's what is that test called when they mush up your breast to look for cancer?
Mammogram.
Thank you. I mean, that's about preventative measure. What preventative measure is there for men?
Yeah.
Well, when you get it, we'll do something about it. And go ahead.
I said besides the fingers in the booty.
Well, you mean the rectal exam.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just checking the prostate, but that's not really a preventative thing. That's really saying, is it swollen? Okay, there's a problem. Yeah. And that's not even done until men are in their 50s. It has been hypothesized that things like prostate cancer are actually with men for many, many years before any symptoms are found. And if we could develop a system for measuring that, to being able to detect that early on, we could stop a lot of prostate cancer. We also have testicular cancer, but prostate cancer is the big one. But a lot of arguments that I've seen as to why funding should go to women is that women of all ages can get breast cancer, but men tend to get prostate cancer in their later years, between 50 and 100. So because men are kind of already on their way out, that's why we don't need to provide them much funding. But even that, I would even say this is true right here, that men are four times more likely to get cancer than women. That's actually not true. My research actually showed that men and women get cancer at pretty much the same rates, that breast cancer and prostate cancer happen in about equal numbers.
I wonder if she got that from them.
Well, she got it from somewhere, but she didn't get it from us. Or if she did get it from us, she could at least link it to us so we can, you know, correct it. But I don't believe I've ever said that men are 4 times more likely to get cancer than women.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody said that, unless she's meaning that they're, or like, I don't know, like maybe she's comparing like the amount of men who get prostate cancer versus the women who get breast cancer, but that would make no sense either. So,
well, I think what she's comparing is men who get it and are affected by it versus women who can be detected for it and eliminated before it becomes a serious threat. And if you exclude women who are able to detect it early and do something about it as not having cancer, then it would seem like men are getting cancer more often than women. But if you put them back into the equation, then it's likely very balanced that men and women get it about equal rates. Though not mentioned in the video or elsewhere, it's likely this calendar will address other MRA issues. We did mention what other issues we were going to mention. It's actually on the website itself. Yes, horrible person. I'm going to call you a dumb bitch, but I'm like, nah, I kind of want her on the show.
That'd be so funny.
The lack of domestic violence shelters for men. We've mentioned that men are eligible for the draft. Okay, that's a poor way of wording that, but yeah, basically. Or the fact that women are more likely to end up with full custody of children in divorce proceedings. So she's guesstimating what we're going to put into this calendar. And we did talk about this in the calendar. Supposedly because the family court system favors women. It does. This, by the way, is some serious bullshit. And this was linking to the Huffington Post. Ooh, that's a credible source. Only 4% of child custody cases even make it to the family court system. And 91% of custody decisions are made by parents themselves with no interference whatsoever. Okay, even if that's true, which I haven't researched it, so I've done a lot of research and there's like all sorts of things, but to look at what Huffington Post is saying, even if that's true, it doesn't negate what we're saying. Because she's saying the fact that women are more likely to end up with full custody of children in divorce proceedings. Okay, well, 4% of child custody cases make it to the family court system. And even if that's true, the majority of them favor mothers having full custody. You haven't negated what we're saying. You're just trying to confuse the issue by saying that 91% of custody decisions are made by parents themselves. Okay, great. That doesn't negate what we said. And you're trying to use tricky numbers here to try to take away what we're talking about. But I'm on to your bullshit. I know these little tricks people do. I call people out for this bullshit math. The thing is, there's no matriarchy enforcing circumcision. No one ever said that it was. We didn't say that women were forcing this. In fact, if you listen to any of my videos, I say that it's the hospitals enforcing this. They're trying to make money. So Oprah can have her skin cream. That's not a thing. If you want to make circumcision illegal, I suggest writing to your elected representative. My elected representative is, God, I can't remember his name now. He's a real famous one. That'll come to me. The vast majority of them are men. And what does she link to us? Rutgers, EDU, current numbers. Okay, that's fine. But, you know, the problem is that the majority of them believe that there's nothing wrong with it because you have things like the World Health Organization and many pediatric departments in the world, especially the American Pediatric Association or whatever, that say that there's nothing wrong with it. And there have even been drives, they compare like, oh, well, all of these circumcised men in Africa don't have AIDS and all of these uncircumcised men do. So that must mean that being circumcised prevents you getting AIDS. We have bullshit stuff like that. So no, writing our congressman wouldn't do any good. It would just be like, oh, okay, one person has an opinion. Who cares? The only way that it would have any effect if a large number of us started writing to it, and maybe it would be considered, but there's not a large number of us out there who are against this. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to raise awareness. That's how you get things done. You think the suffragettes just wrote their congressmen and got equal voting ability in the law? No, they did demonstrations. They did things to raise awareness of their issues. They were domestic terrorists, but they went out there and tried to raise awareness. You stupid, horrible cunt. You're just this horrible person that thinks that, oh, well, if men really want something, they should just write their congressmen. And you're telling us that we're anti-suffragettes? Do you even know how the suffragettes even got the right to vote? If you think that just writing a letter to your congressman is enough? No women are out there keeping prostate charities down. Well, yeah, there are. I mean, Vanessa, she once told a story about a woman who came to her asking for donations for breast cancer. It's like, okay, well, do you do anything for men? And they're like, no, not really. And that's breast cancer. And yes, men get breast cancer at a severely reduced rate compared to women, but what's the point of having research if it doesn't also benefit men who also suffer from it? That it only goes to women's research. Yeah. And anytime there's some lobbyists in Washington saying, hey, we need more money for breast cancer, and taking away money from what would go for prostate cancer or any other men's cancer. That is an opposition by feminists to keep prostate cancer charities down. Because government funding is a big deal. And, you know, I've seen some figures as being a 4-to-1 difference, others being a 10-to-1 difference. Or opposing domestic violence shelters for men. Look up the name Earl Silverman. Mm-hmm. A man committed suicide because he tried to raise funds to create a domestic violence shelter in Canada. He tried to get government assistance, and feminism protested him, and he was shut down. As it stands, I can only confirm about 2 centers in the United States, although I've heard there's a third one in Texas and one in North Carolina, I believe, for domestic violence shelters for men.
I thought it was Arkansas, something like that.
Well, I know it's Texas because I've actually talked to them. Yeah.
I don't think there's one in North Carolina yet, though. Hopefully one day, if I have anything to say about it.
There is no privilege we could relinquish that would decrease the male suicide rate. Wow, that is really, really bold. You're not even willing to listen to what we might have to say on the issue. You just pretty much wash your hands of it. Hey, there's nothing women can do to make the suicide rate go down. Hell, we're not even asking you to relinquish anything. We said it specifically up here. What did I say? The first thing you... Something along those lines. I can't find it right now, but we basically said that, you know, we understand, we believe that, you know, helping men doesn't take away helping women. We're not asking women to relinquish their privilege. We're asking them to try and find ways to help men. That's all we're doing.
Well, that kind of sounds to me like they're implying that men have to relinquish some kind of privilege in order for women to succeed or be empowered or whatever. That just I don't know. Like, there's a lot of implications behind a lot of stuff she's saying.
Well, feminism has always believed that. They believe that men have to give up power in order for women to have power.
Right.
And that you see these articles all the time, like why men should pay for dates because women make less money because of the pay gap.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit for all sorts of reasons. You see a lot of these articles that men need to give up whatever privilege or position or money or power they have to recognize women and give them a chance to have the same things. Not because they necessarily deserve it out of principle of being the superior person, but because of what's between their legs. Mm-hmm. And of course, when we talk about this, that's the one thing feminists are afraid of. It's like, well, you know, if we start caring about men, that means we have to give up our power of domination over the other gender. A lot of them will say it's not about that, but it really is about that.
Submit to me, men. Do it now. Send me money.
You have to grab your boobs while you do that.
You have to what?
You have to grab your boobs while you do that.
Oh, yeah. Give me money. Submit to me. Become my minions.
Okay, so here's the last little bit that's funny. No one is saying that men don't have gender-specific problems. Of course they do. But the difference between those problems and those faced by women is that these issues are not caused by women and are thus very likely to be fixed by women, are very unlikely to be fixed by women, which is rather evident given that the best thing about femme RAs are able to come up with is a damn pinup calendar.
See what I said about implications?
Okay, so she acknowledges that men have gender-specific problems, but then states that it's not women who cause these specific problems. So thus, they're not the ones who caused it. They're not the ones who can fix it. Meaning that men have caused their own problems and have to fix their own problems. Where have I heard this before? Oh, yeah, it's called the patriarchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Patriarchy theory. Men cause their own problems. Men have to fix their own problems. Wow, you should be voted humanitarian of the year.
I love the picture that's right next to it. The fucking lady going, shh, don't talk about men's issues. Shut the fuck up. You're ruining it. Please read her her whatever this is, her biography.
I will, but I just want to unpack this a little bit more. And then she's like, and the best thing they're able to come up with is a pinup calendar? No, it's not the best thing that we came up with. It was just something more we could do because we have a lot of other people out there working. You know, we got the honey badgers out there. They're doing some good work, usually.
I think it's a pretty nice calendar, if I do say so myself.
Well, I'm a bit biased in that, but yeah, I agree with that. But the thing is that either we could be doing more of the same thing, or we could be trying to do different things to try to reach as many different people as we can.
Right.
And she's
wow, look at all these facts.
Thing anyone has ever done in our movement. It's not. I mean, we're holding conferences practically every year. I think the last one was in Europe. The one before that was in Australia. And the one before that was in either was Chicago or Canada or something like that. We've held 3 as far as I know. We have a whole community built up. We're actually trying to get things out there. We had the Red Pill film made, which was out by the time this was. I mean, they'd been out for several years. She doesn't even acknowledge anything from that, which I'm kind of glad because I'm glad she focused on our calendar, but she's acting like it's the only thing that has ever been done in this movement. Yeah, laziness. Exactly.
Also, I just want to point out, look at all the boobs that we're showing off in this calendar, right? So many boobs. We're really selling it with the sex appeal here. Not that this isn't classy and sexy, but like, where's the boobs that she's talking about?
That Primrose.
What'd you say?
Was that Primrose?
Yeah, and then here's Unvarnished Void. Look at those big old titties. No, I'm just kidding. She looks
well. You know, to be fair to her, I mean, she does have some nice titties. Not that I've seen them, but I want to.
Look amazing. I'm just saying, like, where's the like crazy fucking cleavage that this girl is supposedly like insinuating that we're having in this thing? I mean, even the first one doesn't really have that much cleavage.
Hey, stop avoiding June. I mean, that's some aggressive cleavage right there. And don't even get me. Don't even get me started with July. That's like, I have to call out a restraining order on that cleavage. It's just way too aggressive.
It's almost July. We'll have to do a show revealing it with Ren.
Well, let's see. Is there any other aggressive cleavage? Oh, October.
Oh, yeah. Well. Yeah, I guess I do have a bit of cleavage in that one.
A bit?
There's some butt cleavage at the end. If you're into that, get a Lovely Ladies calendar for $10 at paypal.me/lovetheseladies. Do it.
But you know, but the other part that I want to call attention to is, even if she's right, which I don't agree with, that women are not the ones who created this problem, it doesn't then become that they're not responsible for fixing it. It's called being a fucking human being. It's called about being a humanitarian. That if you see someone in trouble, you go out and help them. Even if you're not the cause of it, you go out to help them.
Imagine. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, imagine if people were like that with like animals. Like, these fucking wild dogs cause this problem for themselves. They keep killing themselves. Fuck it. Let them do what they want. You know, like, who's gonna, or like, you know, anything related, anything like non-human that you can think of, or even human, like when you think about like children, you know, like, but now because it's men versus women, you know, it's suddenly awful.
Well, here's another example, and this is kind of a political one, but Save Our Girls. Michelle Obama, big campaign. Everyone's talking about Save Our Girls. What if the same attitude was applied there? Hey, we didn't cause these girls any problem. Why should we help them?
Right.
And,
fucking, you know, Africa, fuck them. They got their own problems. Fuck malaria. We're good.
You know, we can't have that kind of attitude, even if women are not responsible for it. Even if I agreed with you on that, you still have a basic human morality to see that if someone is in trouble, you should help them. But you're just like most other feminists. I say most because there are some good ones out there, but you're just like most feminists out there. All you want is power for yourself, and the best way you can do that is by destroying anyone who threatens that. And this pinup calendar is a threat to you.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Robin Panaccia. There's a great name. I would take that name. Chris Panaccia. Is a brilliant, by whose standards, fabulously talented and visually stunning angel of a human being. No, you're not an angel of a human being if you think that women didn't cause a problem, so thus they are not on the hook for solving a problem. That makes you a devil of a human being. Hey, it's your words. I'm just quoting you, Robin. Visually stunning angel. You can't see her picture here.
I followed her and tweeted her, or tweeted at her on Twitter.
Who shrugged off what she is pretty sure would have been a Tony Award-winning career in music theater in order to write stuff about stuff on the internet. Wow. Just the ego on that one.
Right.
So let's see. Write a Tony Award-winning play or write stuff on the internet. Why couldn't you do both at the same time? Or start with winning a Tony and then writing stuff on the internet. You shrugged off a Tony Award? I mean, they're basically crap awards that's based on popularity, but that's still something to add to your resume, and you gave that up? Are you a moron? You think if I had a chance to win a Pulitzer or a Nebula Award that I would say, no, I'm doing videos on YouTube. I don't want to do that right now. Fuck that shit. I'd give up the videos on YouTube so I could go and get myself, you know, a prestigious book award.
She probably wasn't that good. just a hunch.
Previously, she was a senior staff writer at Death and Taxes, an assistant editor at The Frisky, rest in peace. Wow, The Frisky, that sounds hot.
Ooh.
Currently, she writes for Wonkette, Friendly Atheist, Quartz, and other sites. Hey, just a little hint for you, because I think you're an English writer from America. There's this thing called the Stanford comma. Is it Stanford comma? But yeah, you need a comma right here. That's just basic English 101. I mean, I know there's some dispute on that, but you need a comma. Unless you're from Europe, and then it's okay not to have a comma. And you can go ahead.
What? I didn't say nothing.
Okay. So yeah, that's what this article is. And you know, it actually makes me very happy. Girls Gone Wonk. Makes me very happy this article exists. As absurd as it is, as lazy as it is, as badly written as it is, and the lack of humanity that the article is. While we have raised $3,000, and I'll stop sharing this so I can speak directly to the camera. While we have raised $3,000, and that was great, and it has allowed us to do a lot of things. Even though we haven't really made a profit on it ourselves, we didn't set out to make a profit. We set out to try to change the world. But despite that, we're still obscure. By evident of the fact that we haven't sold our calendars, that we haven't quite gotten the reach out that we had hoped for. Still, we have surpassed a lot of our initial expectations, and we're not complaining in any way. And we're hopeful for the future that since we've done this once already, people will be more inclined to support it again. And new people might be inclined to support it, but we're still obscure. And that someone found something obscure and decided to write about it as a hit piece. That's a good thing. That's a step in the right direction. So I'm very happy by this article. And yes, it's about a year old, and that's fine. I mean, but I was hoping that We Are the Mammoth would write about this. That would have meant so much to me. Like, wow, we got this person that really hates the men's movement so much that he wants to write about our article. That was like Nirvana being happy that Weird Al wanted to make a parody of his song. He's like, I finally made it in music. Weird Al wants to do a song of mine. You know, We Are the Mammoth wants to do a hit piece on us. So, what are your thoughts, Vanessa?
I fully enjoy stuff like this. I think it's just first of all really funny and entertaining, and because like I don't take insults personally, you know. I take them as what would you call it? I don't know. They just make me laugh because I know that it's like coming from a sad place in their heart, and it's like, why do you have so much hate towards this? And it's like, you know, even if like even the Daily Mail or whatever, the New York Post, they were completely, you know, non-biased about it, I thought, when they wrote their articles. But you know, when it's like directly trying to be mean towards us, I don't take it personally, because I know it's like, I know that they're just really upset about it, and that makes me giggle. And you know, it just, the way that, because it's sad that it makes them upset, because you know, these are real issues that we're trying to get across, and if they would just, you know, open their mind a little bit, then maybe they realize that this is, you know, these are real problems, with which she even admitted, but still won't let us do what we want. You know, it's like not let us do what we want, but she doesn't want us to do what we want. You know, which is show our boobs for support for men.
Oh no,
like,
no.
What else are we supposed to
do? What you want. She's not against it. She's just wondering why we're doing it. But you can do what you want. That's how she. Which is completely passive aggressive.
Right. Why are we doing it? I don't know, because people like it. Other people had the idea as well, and we actually made it happen. You know, like, hello. Like, if anybody has any more ideas on what we should do, let us know, because we're trying to get we'd like to have another meetup if possible, if anybody on the East Coast wants to come to one. But you know,
Or
again,
try to go to VidCon in 2020.
Yeah, that would be nice. However, I did hear that if you get swarmed around, you can possibly get kicked out. So unless we were able to actually get a creators table or whatever, then we might potentially get kicked out. Depending. So, you know, I don't know. Someone on Twitter suggested that we start something like BeachCon or something like that. So it's like, it doesn't sound like a men's rights thing, but it underlying, you know, it really is a men's rights thing. But everybody comes because they think it's a con. You know? Who knows? But
someone suggested that you do like a hot sex scene with Mercedes.
A sex scene?
Okay, it was me who suggested it.
Oh, okay. Well, no, me and Mercedes already agreed on that. But first, I mean, I have to get famous first. I have to build up my revenue before I give it all away. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, we just tried to do something. We weren't even 100% sure that we would succeed. And like I said, we've outdone our expectations and we're blown away by that. And it's like, how could we not do another? And that's, I mean, you know, a lot of the criticisms I received was like, why not do a calendar full of men? We're not sure it would ever even be successful, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it for 2019. We're going to see if we can find men. We're going to see that if we do a digital calendar for like, I don't know, $5-10. We haven't really decided on that, but it could be $10. If people would buy it, even if knowing that buying it helps us do the 2020 calendar. So we're trying to see if we can make it work. And if it does, great, we can do that a lot more. But we chose women first because we knew that everyone loved boobs. Even gay men love boobs.
True that.
I mean, if you could get like a guy with a dick and boobs, wait, that already exists.
Wait, what exists?
She-males.
Oh, right. Hey, Blair White, you know, hit me up.
But, you know, we're trying to do something. And that's the thing to take away from all of this, is that we're trying. And a lot of people out there are all talk and don't really do anything. I mean, if I wasn't disabled, I would be out there in the public trying to do a lot more. You know, I'm pretty much trapped in these four walls like 90% of my life. You know, I have to rely on Vanessa doing the beach con like she did, which I'm very thankful for. I wish I could have been there, but we weren't able to make that happen. And even if we could, I would be very limited in what I could do because of my disability. And yet I'm still out there trying. And I'm not saying this as bad on everyone else. I'm saying, hey, if this disabled person can create a team, and this team together creates something, creates this. I mean, actual print. I can touch it. I can lick it.
You can lick it.
Then what's that say about you, who's capable of leaving your home and capable of working a job and capable of interacting with other people? You know, I want to encourage people to do more.
Me too. Boop.
Okay, you're not stroking the sword, you're stroking her boobie.
Yep. Sorry.
So
yeah,
is there
very good fat material here. If I do say something else.
Mm.
Oh man.
No one saw anything.
Nobody saw it.
So if you don't mind me, I've got my material and I got a little.
and your material.
Actually, this is not what you think it is. It's a foundation for your face.
That's funny.
Anything final you want to say before we wrap up this thing?
I guess just check out the lovely ladies, check out our calendar, check out the website, check out the merch, on Teespring and all that. Check out my stuff. All my stuff is on Twitter and on YouTube. So, and the website that we cannot name. But yeah, that's mostly what I got going on. And then, I guess I'm trying. Well, and my art. Don't forget about my rt on Facebook. That too. I'm selling that shiz. And I was gonna try to start doing something called like doodles for donations or something, where I draw like YouTubers and then or doodles of YouTubers and then sell them for like half charity and half profit, something like that. So if that's something that you guys think you would be interested in, then leave suggestions and stuff like that.
So I have a suggestion. Okay. Rule 34, drawing auction.
Wait, who?
Rule 34, drawing auction. You draw people having sex, and then people on YouTube auction to buy it.
Well, I do already draw like sexy drawings of myself. So if anybody wants to buy that, then they can. But yeah, either or, I sell all kinds of stuff. I gotta plug in my computer.
So apparently anyone who wanted to see Modern Medusa's ass could see that right just then and there. All right, so I guess she's come back. Okay, and that mysterious shadowy figure in the background, that's the Dark Man.
Dark Man.
Now I was trying to think. The Shadow. That's who I was trying to think of. Okay. But there is a Dark Man out there, like my God and Jin. All right, so I thank everyone for coming out here. This is kind of just more of an impromptu thing, and then we're late. We're going to be doing more videos in the coming months. We're going to try to return back to what we once were doing because we both really enjoy it. It's just life gets in the way. Check out my links down below. You will see my my PayPal as well as my Patreon. I could still use a little help. I'm trying to get insurance. I'm trying to do it on my own. But, the donations I receive help me out so much. Right now it's kind of like at $40. And believe me, that goes a long way for me. So every little bit helps. If you don't want to do Patreon, you can donate to my PayPal. There's also my book down below, trying to raise the popularity so Amazon will take it down by feminist pressure. Mm-hmm. So it's only $2.99, so it helps. Also, check out the link for Modern Medusa. That's at the bottom of my list. We also have a Discord for the lovely ladies. I got to stop looking at my monitor. We got a Discord for the lovely ladies. Of course, if anyone knows with Discord, you send out a link, it expires in 24 hours. So just message me or Modern Medusa or, one of us two, or Reading Ren, she has access to. And ask us, and we'll give you a link. We invite everyone to this. So,
yeah. Also, I almost forgot. I emailed all the people who won the calendars from the contest. However, one of them was not received. I got like the mailer Damon thing, like didn't send email, whatever. And so Isabella, whoever you are, if you if you still want your calendar, email the lovely ladies calendar at gmail.com. But the other ones I sent them to.
That's your real name.
Yeah. You seem pretty cool. I wanted to bang. Not really. JK.
Well, especially if you're a girl.
Yeah. Andrew, where'd you go?
All right. Andrew, come back. I want to see you.
I gotta pee really bad.
You gotta pee really bad?
I gotta pee really bad, so let's wrap it up.
Well, let's blow this thing and go home.
Yes, please. Oh.
All right, so that's going to do it for us today. We only meant to do a half an hour. I think we did an hour, so I apologize for that.
That's okay. I forgive you.
See her do the happy pee dance.
Yep, I'm about to. Come on, let's go.
So, yeah, you have all of our stuff. All of our shilling is done. Thank you for checking out this video if you've made it to the end, which we know most of you don't. So we can say whatever we want right now, and no one would complain.
Penis.
Boobies.
Boobs and dicks smash the matriarchy.
Woot, woot. Let's never do that again. All right, so thank you, everyone, and signing off.
Bye.